everybody, welcome to the channel. I hope you're all doing well out there. I wanted to come on and do a little thing about do a little video about the flooding in the area here in Tennessee and also in western North Carolina. I know there are a lot of other areas as well. I know there's some places in Georgia. I know that Florida got hit pretty hard. I know that Virginia, West Virginia, so many places have been just devastated by this this flooding. But I think that western North Carolina and Tennessee have been hit extremely bad, and at a very bad time of year as well. A bad time for those people, because we're coming up on, the fall season, autumn, the leaves changing, and it's one of the busiest times in this area for people to have vacations here, and a lot of people have plans to come here to see the autumn leaves, because they're just beautiful here in this area, especially in western North Carolina and Tennessee up on the Blue Ridge Parkway. And so I know some of you out there, you may have plans to come up for that reason. And October, we're coming into October, and October is the time that a lot of you probably made plans to come here. And I'm not going to discourage you to I'm not going to encourage you to not come. I'm not going to discourage you to come, because that's completely up to you. But I would definitely check with places where you have your reservations, check with roads, check with all of that. I have a lot of information here that I'm going to be giving you guys so that you will know what the situation is. Right now it is not good at all, and I don't know when they're even going to be able to get all of this fixed, especially in western North Carolina. I've got a lot of information for you, a lot of statistics about what's going on, and bridge closings and road closure and a lot of things like that. But the very first thing I want to do is, I'm going to put this in my description and in the title and everything too. I do have some phone numbers to reach some different authorities to find out about loved ones. If you happen to be missing a loved one, if you haven't been in touch with someone that lives in western North Carolina or Tennessee, I have some numbers here. And I didn't want to wait till the end of the video and make you guys wait and go all the way through the video before I gave you the numbers. So I didn't want to use them for clickbait or anything like that. So I wanted to go ahead. That's the first thing I want to do. Well, the first thing I want to do is just to ask everybody to pray for these people who have lost so much. And I just want to pray and to also thank God for not letting it be even worse than it actually is. It could have been a lot worse. I think the amount of lives, the amount of people that we've lost is very low, considering the damage and the quickness of how fast this happened. I mean, they just had just a couple of hours to get everybody evacuated from some of the communities. And these are small rural communities. They're not like cities or anything like that. These are very small rural communities, farming communities. Some of the communities are places that, like, people hiking on the Appalachian Trail get off the trail to go to these communities and buy their supplies for the next few days on the trail. They have places for people who are walking on the Appalachian Trail to stay in some of these communities. They can do their laundry. These are just little communities that are just there for people, for the community, and for people passing through. So the people living in these communities, they're good people, and they've lost a lot. But like I said, we can be thankful that more lives haven't been lost so far. So far, from what I understand in the area, in the western North Carolina and in the Tennessee area, there's been, I don't know if this has been confirmed or anything, but at least 40 deaths so far. There are hundreds, probably thousands of people missing at this point, but the reason that a lot of them are missing is just because people haven't been able to get a hold of them, because there are over 600,000 people in North Carolina alone that are without power and without phone service. The phone service went down, and they don't have any way of contacting anybody. So if you're trying to get a hold of a loved one down there, I mean, don't give up hope. Don't panic yet. Try not to anyway. I know it's very difficult, but just remember that they don't have phone service, and we're so dependent on our cell phones and everything for communication these days. It's a really terrible thing when we don't have that access to phone service. They're trying, from what I understand, they're trying really hard to get some kind of mobile phone service in there or something. They're trying really hard to get the phone service fixed so that people can get in touch with people that are worried about them. But I do have a few phone numbers. I'm going to go ahead. Like I said, the first thing I wanted to make sure of is that everybody is praying for all of these people, and just to pray to give them strength to get through all of the cleanup and the loss and everything that they have gone through. So that's first and foremost, is just ask you guys for prayers for the area. There's been some really beautiful, nice places have been just devastated by all this flooding. From what I understand, I saw on Reed Timmer's YouTube, he said that in some areas we had over 35 inches of rain, and we had about 3 days of almost solid rain before Helene actually got here, before the hurricane actually got here. So we were already saturated. The ground was saturated. The rivers, the lakes, everything was already pretty high at that point. And then the hurricane remnants came through and dropped another, in some areas, over 35 inches of rain. And a lot of the dams, overflowed. They didn't actually burst or anything like that. They were just overflowed. They were overwhelmed with so much water coming over them. And like I said, we already were saturated. So some communities are just gone now pretty much. And I'm going to give you a list of some of the communities and some of the counties that were affected. But the first thing I want to do is give you the phone numbers so you can call and find out information on your loved ones. Let's see, I wrote down a bunch of notes. I've been researching this for y'all, for anybody that needs this information, or anybody that's just wowed by everything that's happened here in Western North Carolina and Tennessee. I mean, we're hundreds of miles away from where the hurricane came in, and we got a huge destruction from the hurricane. So let's see, I wanted to read this too. This is from the Citizens Times, which is a newspaper in Ashville, North Carolina. And it just says, search and rescue efforts remain ongoing across western North Carolina after communities were ravaged by floodwaters of Tropical Storm Helene. County emergency response officials have advised the public on ways to seek out loved ones. In Buncombe County, which is where Ashville is located, the city of Ashville and Buncombe County officials have announced that they have been working on a service to help reconnect families, as County Manager Avril Ponder called the disaster Buncombe County's own Hurricane Katrina. It's just terrible. The Buncombe County Register of Deeds has created a web form to reconnect loved ones with people who cannot be reached. To report someone missing believed to be in Buncombe County, complete the web form for each missing person, and officials will work to locate and determine their current status. Voicemails can also be left for the Buncombe County Family Assistance Center at 820-2761, and I'll put this information in the description as well. The emergency shelter for those who need emergency aid is located at 10 Geneva Circle in Ashville. If you receive an update on a missing person after you fill out the form or after you talk to someone, they ask that you please let them know so that they can work on finding loved ones for other people. So be sure, and if you have filled out any of these forms or called anybody and left messages, be sure that you let them know that your person has been found. Email to get in touch with them is Buncombe, BuncombeSearch, BuncombeSearch@gmail.com. And like I said, you can go on there and you can leave a email, or you can call them at that number that I gave you. That's for Buncombe County. Let's see. It's got the form here too that you can fill out. If you just go to Citizen Times, you can go there to Citizen Times. And it's a form that asks you a lot of questions about the person. Let me see. Let me go find that other information. Okay. And if there's anybody in Asheville that needs a place to stay, Asheville, the FEMA supply distribution has been set up at AB Tech. I'm not sure where that's at, but emergency shelters are at the Ag Center there. It's a big agricultural area, and they have an Ag Center that you can check into. I have lots more information here for you. Okay, I wrote a lot of this down, so I've got it all wrote down here. So to find, I gave you the Buncombe County information. North Carolina United Way in Western North Carolina, you can call a number 211, or you can call you can call 1-888-892-1162, and that is the United Way, and they can help you figure out, the right people to get in touch with. Also in Asheville, in the Buncombe County Family Assistance Center is also taking calls at 828-820-2761. And of course, if you're out of state, you have to put a 1 in front of the phone number. Also in Watuga County, that's the Boone and Blowing Rock area, which were hit really, really bad. 1-828-263-4178. That's for Watuga County. Madison County Shelter. You can find out about that. You can also call the Ashville Buncombe County Family Assistance Center at 828-820-2761. In Tennessee, you can find loved ones at the Red Cross has a number. It's 1-800-733-2767. I believe is the number for Red Cross. And you can also call the TBI, which is the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. You can call them at 1-800-828-3463. Now, like I said, I will put these all in the description of the video. In Unicoi County in Tennessee, you can call 1-423-560-0261. That's in Unicoi County. In Greene County, you can call 1-423-798-1729. And like I said, you can call any of these numbers. I'll put them in the description, and you can find out some information on that. If you are coming to the area and you need to find out what roads are closed at this point right now, it says all roads in western North Carolina should be considered closed. In some areas of western North Carolina, they have lost all of their bridges, so it's closed roads. I don't know if you've ever been to this area, if you've ever been to the area, if you've ever been on the Blue Ridge Parkway or anywhere over in these counties that were affected by this. You know that there's a lot of rivers, there's a lot of lakes and streams, and there's like 12 TVA dams, and they have just been overwhelmed. All the dams were overwhelmed, and a few of the dams were thought to be about to completely fail. They thought some of the dams were going to collapse. They were worried about all that, and they started, as soon as they realized that that could be a possibility, they started evacuating people, and they did a really good job of evacuating people. If they hadn't evacuated people, I don't know what would have happened. They even in Newport, they had to evacuate the inmates there. They had to put them on school buses and get them out of there. So they got the inmates out of there, and there was a hospital in and I believe it was Irwin, and they were trying to get it evacuated, and everything started happening so fast that they didn't have a way to get them out of. The wind was also very high, so they couldn't fly in just any helicopters to get them out of there. So they ended up having to take the remaining patients that they hadn't been able to evacuate, and all the staff, and some police officer, and some first responders and things had to get to the top of the hospital building, and they had to go and rescue them off the hospital roof. There was quite a few of them that they got them rescued as well. But like I said, all roads in western North Carolina are considered closed. And the Blue Ridge Parkway, some of the Blue Ridge Parkway communities that have been hit really, really bad, is some information for you in case you have reservations at some of those places. I know a lot of people come into those areas and stay, like I said, for the leaves, to see the leaves changing, and to see, our beautiful autumn that we have here. So some of the Blue Ridge Parkway communities that were affected by it were Boone, North Carolina. Cherokee got some flooding. The little parks and stuff in Cherokee along the river were flooded. Chimney Rock, which is also where the Bays Mountain Wildlife Park is around in that area too. They had some damage. Rocky Mount, Roan Mountain, Linville Falls, Ashville area, Black Mountain, Biltmore Village, Brevard, Mount Pisgah, and I love Mount Pisgah. We go to Mount Pisgah quite often. There's a wonderful restaurant there in Mount Pisgah, and a really, really cool campground. It's probably my favorite campground anywhere in the area. But that area was flooded. Gaston County, Yadkin County, Buncombe County, Hendersonville, all of those areas and more were affected. That was all in North Carolina, western North Carolina. So, like I said, if you have reservations for this area, or you're traveling to this area in the next month to 2 months, some of these roads are closed indefinitely, they said, where they've lost their bridges and stuff, because they have to totally redo the bridges. And on top of that, I-40, close to the North Carolina and Tennessee line there, a big chunk of the roadway was washed out. I have a picture of that. I'll show you. Let's see. Here, this is I don't know if you can see that right there. That's a picture of I-40. There was a bad rock slide and the water just came rushing down through there and just took out a big chunk of the roadway. And so that's going to be closed for a while. But the only problem is there's like really no other roads that are open that you can go around that area in right now. So that's a big problem. So I-40 is closed. And there's, again, you can see there it says all roads in western North Carolina should be considered closed. So again, if you're coming, go ahead and see if they're going to have repairs done, if you're going to be able to get in the area, and you know, just make sure that your hotel or your Airbnb or your whatever you were renting here, cabin, whatever you had plans to, wherever you had plans to stay, make sure that you're going to be able to get to those places, and also make sure that they're actually going to be opened by then, and make sure that they're actually even still there. Let's see. This was Reed Timmer's rainfall totals. He said there are rain gauge measurements at the crest of the southern Appalachians of over 35-inch storm total from this event. That was just, like I said, that was just from the hurricane. Before that, we had gotten several, 3 or 4 days of constant rain. So we already had a ton of rain in those areas. This would be the most rainfall ever recorded up there. Says, sounds like this Katrina of the Southern Appalachians disaster is even worse than 1912. They're just calling it that because it was so much water, so much flood damage. He said the cell phone outages definitely need to be fixed, and it looks, unfortunately, like another tropical cyclone could take a similar track next weekend. So that's why I'm saying, you know, especially if this other storm comes through here, you're going to want to make sure that your accommodations are even still in existence, sadly. Here, this is the one I wanted to tell you about, the hospital. It was in Unicoi County. Hospital tried to evacuate 11 patients and 43 others Friday morning after the Nolichucky River overflowed its banks and flooded the facility. But the water was too treacherous for boats sent by the Tennessee Emergency Management Agency. The decision was made to take everyone to the roof. After other helicopters failed to reach the hospital because of the storm's winds, a Virginia State Police helicopter was able to land on the roof. 3 National Guard helicopters with hoist capabilities were on the way. So this is a picture of it. I don't know if you can see that or not. This is just taken off of YouTube, but you can see there. You can see the hospital there in the middle of all that water. So that was, I'm sure, a very scary ordeal for those people. Here's another one. It's pretty interesting. This is, I typed in to find out what roads were closed in western North Carolina, and there are 750 results. You can see that. 750 results. So, oops. 750 results. That's how many roads are closed in western North Carolina. Let's see, I had something else here too. This is another website. This is a Facebook group that you can go to also to find out about your missing family members or loved ones. It's called Missing People in East Tennessee and Western North Carolina Due to Flooding, and it's a public group. Oops, you can see there. And again, I'll put this in the description so you guys will know. I'm just trying to help ease your mind and help you find your loved ones, hopefully. Let's see. It's about Buncombe. I think that's all that I have on my phone to tell you about. So, roads closed. I-40, I-26 and I-24 are all the main roads that are closed. 385 is closed in North Carolina, and just many roads. I heard a report earlier, when I was researching, I found a report earlier that said that if you were coming anywhere from Kentucky or going to from Knoxville to there, wherever you're going, if you're going to Ashville, you're going to have to go all the way up past Ashville to Greenville and take some back roads from there. And then again, if you're going to somewhere where one of these bridges is out and the roads are all closed, you're not going to be able to get through. It's a really bad situation. So that's just some of the main roads that are closed. Many bridges are gone. Like I said, I heard that in one area of western North Carolina that every bridge they had is gone. And for TDOT information, or for Western North Carolina road information, this is for road information, you can dial 511 and you can get more road information on what's closed, what's open, all of that kind of stuff. So the Nolichucky Dam, that's the one that they thought was actually going to burst or collapse or whatever, but fortunately the water just went over the top of it, and it's just so devastating. I mean, these communities, they've lost historic buildings, they've lost farms and stores and restaurants and hotels, and just, so much is gone. But again, we can thank God that there weren't very many lives lost so far. And like I said, these roads are all closed until further notice. That's what all the reports are saying, is that they are closed until further notice. No one knows when they'll be able to get this cleaned up. And some of the roads actually, or some of the bridges, there's video of it on YouTube you can find, but some of the bridges just completely collapsed into the river. And so they've going to have all of this debris that they're going to have to clean up, all this stuff to clean up before they can even start rebuilding. So I don't know how long it's going to take. Now, I would say if you have plans and you're just coming into Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg or Sevierville or something like that, you might be okay. But I'm just telling you that I just want you to be prepared that when you get here, a lot of these roads where some of the most beautiful viewing of the leaves are going to be closed, unfortunately. Oh, and I just, this is just something that just drives me crazy, and I just don't understand it. I don't understand how people can be so evil and so inhumane and uncaring as to be. These people have already suffered this terrible, catastrophic disaster, and there's looters. They have had to set up curfews in some of these places. Ashville has a curfew, and a few other places have a curfew from 7 at night till 7 in the morning. If you're out and about, they're gonna question you, and they're trying to arrest looters. I just don't understand. It just breaks my heart to know that there are people out there in the world, and I know there are. I've dealt with bullies. I've dealt with just downright evil people for a long time, and I know that these people do exist. But it's just heartbreaking to know that people just go out and steal whatever's left of people's belongings. That stuff should be taken somewhere to some kind of a big, huge salvage area or something, to where people can come there and see if they can find any of their belongings, that have been lost. And, like just maybe a big, giant lost and found place somewhere in a school gymnasium or something, you know. Just if you find something and it's not yours, take it to this place, and then people can come there and look for their stuff. I mean, it's just terrible. Another thing too is what I'm worried about and concerned about is pets and things. I used to work for TEMA. I used to be on the animal rescue team, and we used to go out and rescue animals that had been left behind at houses and stuff like that, you know, that people just didn't have time to take them, or they just didn't know what to do, and they couldn't take their animals with them. We would go out and find the animals, and we said we'd set up a shelter and reunite them with their humans, you know. And that program just dissipated, and now I don't know who will go out and look for all the animals and things. That worries me. But and then the wildlife. Some of these areas are huge wildlife areas. You know, there's just tons of wildlife, and I know the wildlife can seek higher ground and are probably going to be okay. But you know, there's you know, groundhogs and little bunny rabbits and all those things that are in tunnels under the ground, and this flood water has just come in, and it's just terrible. It's devastating for the wildlife and for the people, and you know, it's just it's a terrible thing. But I still have faith that God will take care of all of us, and these people have the strength and everything to get through all of this. Anything else I wanted to tell you guys about? I'm not sure if you want to see more and find out more and just see the devastation of it, which you probably already have if you've been on YouTube and are from the area and you're getting local news things in your algorithm. You're getting all of this devastation in your algorithm. It's just some of it's really hard for me to watch, because a lot of these places are places that I absolutely love, and I've met, you know, people that live there, and the people are just such kind, rural people, you know. And there was, I know, in a couple of these places, there was, like I said, some places for people on the Appalachian Trail, because Appalachian Trail goes through all of this area. You know, it goes through all this area that has been affected by this. And there's actually, from what I understand, there's actually a couple of Appalachian Trail hikers that are missing right now. So there's, you know, they were affected by it too, but there's places there that are there for the Appalachian hikers, Appalachian Trail hikers. So there's, you know, there's bed and breakfasts there, there's hotels, there's showers for them, there's bathrooms and restaurants and all of these places that are just gone. I loved the community of Boone. I loved the little area of Boone, North Carolina. I loved Chimney Rock. I love just so many of these areas. Are just such wonderful areas, and they have just been devastated. So, but like I said, you know, there could have been a lot more lives taken. But we just, you know, we just have to keep believing that God has a plan, and everybody will get through it. I guess that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. I'm sure I've missed a lot of places. Like I said, so many places Chimney Rock, Base Mountain, Rocky Mount, Roan Mountain, the Linville Falls, which is an absolutely beautiful place, Ashville, Black Mountain, the Biltmore Village. And the Biltmore Village is like there's people that live there as well in the Biltmore Village. There's restaurants, there's all kinds of things in the Biltmore Village there. Some of you may have been to the Biltmore mansion there, but or the Biltmore Gardens, but the village was just devastated. And Savard, Mount Pisgah, Gaston County, Buncombe, Hendersonville, Cocke County. Cocke County and Greene County in Tennessee were hit really hard. Irwin and Newport and Hartford and all these places. Nolichucky. And like I said, they've lost all kinds of precious things to them. Some of these places will never be replaced because, like I said, there was historic buildings that are gone now, and yeah. So anyway, and there were also a couple of the casualties were actually firefighters, first responders. So we lost a lot. And also in one of the communities, they didn't even have time to get their rescue vehicles out, so they've lost their rescue vehicles. Tennessee, I know that this part of Tennessee, I think all of Tennessee is under a state of emergency, and I'm not sure if I'm sure that they probably have. I haven't heard that yet though, but I would say that Western North Carolina is probably under a state of emergency as well. But like I said, if you are looking for somebody, or you're concerned about somebody in that area and you have not heard from them, just remember that it may just be that they don't have phone service. They don't have any way to get in touch with you, and hopefully you can call one of these numbers or do one of these forms to find out about your loved ones. And like I said, I'm praying for all of these people to be safe that are missing, and I pray for their families, and I ask you to join me in prayer and pray from where you are for all of these people to be safe. Pray for our wildlife, and just for the looters out there that are looting. Just pray that somehow they they realize that what they're doing is wrong, and yeah, I just don't know. I just don't understand it. I understand why you want to, why these people want to just kick somebody when they're already down. They've already lost their homes. They've lost, who knows what. They've lost precious family heirlooms. They've lost pictures. They've lost all of this stuff. They've lost probably jewelry, that's been passed down through generations. They've lost just all these things, and some of them could have, been salvaged, and then looters are just going in and taking whatever's left, and it's just really upsetting. But anyway, if you watched it to the end, thank you. And I appreciate it, and I hope that these numbers and this information will be helpful to some of you, and I hope that your plans don't get ruined for your vacations and your time here in the area. But like I said, please check and make sure that you're going to be able to get to your destination, and that your destination is still going to be there. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, God bless all of you, and I'll see you on the next video. I love you guys. You guys all take care out there, okay? Like I said, they're thinking that there might be another system or two coming through, and you guys just be safe wherever you are. Just a couple of things that I wanted to add. I had lost this page, but I found it again. It says TBI establishes missing persons hotline following major flooding. That was the one that I told you guys about, the TBI one. But there's some more information on here as well. It says there are 33 missing in Unicoi County, but there are no confirmed deaths. So if you know somebody that's in Unicoi County, don't get too upset just yet, because there are no confirmed deaths yet. So just remember that. So I think I gave y'all this number. Let's see. Unicoi. I have so many notes here. I just felt like I wanted to do something to help you guys out, so this is what I did. I think I had those numbers down here. Unicoi County, yes. Okay, so I've already given you all these numbers. The Greene County Emergency Management System, our service. Yeah, I gave you that one too. Okay, so I did give you all this information. I just wrote down most of it, but and like I said, if you want to find out more, you can go to WJHL.com. That's a news station, or you can go to the newspaper that I told you about. And like I said, I will put the links for all of this in the description. And I truly hope that this will help someone find someone that they're looking for. And yeah, so I guess that's it. And if I think of anything else, I'll let you guys know in the comments of this video when I get it posted. I'll try to get this posted in the morning, and that will be Sunday morning, September 29th. It's right now it's 2 o'clock in the morning. It's 2:08, but I wanted to get this video done, and I'll probably go ahead and edit it and get it on for you anyway, because like I said in one of my other videos, I don't sleep at night anyway, so I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something at night since I don't sleep. So I hope I've helped somebody out there, and you guys just let me know, if you have any questions or need my help on anything, and I'll be glad to do whatever I can do for you. So thank you guys. I do love you, and I pray for all of you. May God bless you, and I'll see you on the next video.